in regards to the tournament. There's there's the maps. We have to take a look at the maps.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that.
You and I have to go through and like rate the maps. I don't know if you're gonna have time to.
Ooh, we'll figure out a time to do that.
Do it separately.
Yeah, maybe separately.
Okay. I figured I'd ask you first. I mean, if you had time tonight, we can probably knock it out tonight. But if not, then no, we'll have to do it at some.
Okay.
On our own times.
All right, I got the stream.
11:30 to be first.
Yeah, exactly. I got the stream up and running. Whenever you're ready, I'll start the recording.
Do it. Push the button.
All right, let's do it.
We're already running late. Oh, we're here.
Hi.
Made it. Hi.
Yes, sir. What's up?
Last time I spoke to you was 2022.
Yeah. It's a whole year later.
God, yeah. Happy New Year.
Happy.
God, I feel like it's been like a whole year.
It is. It's a brand new year. Did you do? I think I asked Burger about this, but since I haven't talked to you since before the year turned, have you do you?
Resolutions, no.
Yeah. Do you do resolutions or anything like that? No.
No, I didn't even. I had no time to think about it. I did not even like. I don't know. I just like, okay, 2022, great. 2023, sure. Let's just go.
2023, sure.
Sure.
It's a good phrase for this year. Yeah, all right. Let's do it. Well, how about games, though? Are there any games coming out in 2023 that you're excited for?
The Wolverine, for sure.
The Wolverine?
Yeah, so, Insomniac Games, who made the Spider-Man games.
Oh, yeah.
On the PlayStation 4. They are dabbling in a game. They're making a game called the Wolverine.
Oh, interesting.
The Marvel character Wolverine, and I'm very curious to know if they're going to try to connect those two universes together. And I want to see how they're going to make the Wolverine work, because I'm really excited for like that universe that they created for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I think like, that's the only thing I can think of off the top of my head that I'm pretty excited for.
Okay, yeah. You know what's funny about Insomniac Games? They're the people who did Spyro the Dragon back like for PlayStation 1. And I just, because of that, thanks. Because of that, I've always had a fondness for Insomniac Games. And so I remember when they were doing Sunset Overdrive, being kind of excited for that. I never really played that game though. And then
Insomniac made that game? Oh wow.
Yeah, Insomniac Games.
I did want to play it, and I just never ended up playing it.
I know, same here. Exactly the same story. It was like, oh, I kind of want to play that, and then I just never did. And I remember like when Microsoft started buying all these studios, I was like, oh, I wonder if they'll get Insomniac. And then, obviously that didn't happen because freaking PlayStation bought them, which makes sense because they have a history with Insomniac. But I was a little bit bummed about that. But of course, it is what it is. That's one of those studios that I've always had a fondness of, just because of Spyro the Dragon when I was a kid.
That's interesting because like for me it was always Crash Bandicoot. You had Spyro, I had Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah. Naughty Dog.
Right. Yeah, and Naughty Dog went on to make like Uncharted and Last of Us, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it Jack and Daxter? Did Insomniac make a Sly Cooper by any chance?
Sly Cooper?
Like, who did Sly Cooper?
I've never even heard of that game.
Oh really? It's a series on PlayStation.
Insomniac.
It's the raccoon that's like a thief.
I don't know that.
Probably seen the character.
Yeah. Yeah, I do not know that game.
Oh, Sly Cooper was made by Sucker Punch Production. Never mind. Okay.
Sucker Punch Productions.
A stealth platform.
Oh, this is interesting. Ready for this? So I'm on Insomniac Games website. They said current titles: Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. So they did Ratchet and Clank. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Of course,
Okay.
Spider-Man. I don't know if they did the original Ratchet and Clank though. It's possible. It looks like they did Ratchet and Clank for PS4. They did Ratchet and Clank for the newest one, the Rift Apart, the Marvel or the Spider-Man games, some game called Stormland, which I've never heard of, Edge of Nowhere, Feral Rights, and Song of the Deep. I really haven't heard of any of them. Legacy games: Spyro the Dragon, Resistance, Ratchet and Clank, Sunset Overdrive. Okay, so they did Ratchet and Clank back in the day too.
Okay.
And it looks like they have some other games here too. I don't know any of these. Spyro the Dragon.
Definitely not. Oh, Resistance. I've heard of Resistance. Way back then. That was like a semi-Halo-esque kind of game, if I remember correctly.
Resistance was?
It had stuff like you know, like grav lifts and like man cannon in that game.
Oh, okay.
But
One of the
more of a like older tech kind of man cannon grav lift.
Okay. So one of those like Halo killers, right? What is this? Remember there were a bunch of games that came out that all tried to like copy Halo essentially. There was, it sounds like Resistance. Yeah, I can kind of see some of the resemblance a little bit. And then there's another game. Oh, what was it called? It was on PlayStation. I forget the name of it, but it was like very Halo looking,
Okay.
I should say. I forget what it was.
Another game that I definitely wanted to try that came out sometime after Halo 3. I wanted to say, I think it was called Too Human. I don't know if you ever heard of that one. It was on Xbox 360. And it was like a top-down view. I don't know what the premise is, but I just remember seeing this guy just running around wielding guns and such.
Right.
Like I wanted to give it a shot. Unintended.
Yeah, I don't know that game. I just looked. Oh, Killzone. Killzone was the game that I was trying to remember.
Oh, okay. Hey, you know what? It might have been Killzone that I might have been thinking of, and not Resistance. Oh, yes, it was Killzone. You're right, it was Killzone. Okay. Killzone, more like Kill Halo. Oh.
More like killed nothing.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I recognize that helmet. Yeah, it was Killzone.
The Killzone one.
I screwed up.
That's okay. I'll forgive you. No worries, man. It's all good. All gravy. New year, new you. You know.
Oh yeah. What was it? New year, new me. Year 3 or something. I don't know.
New year, new me. New 3.
Me 3. I don't know.
Have you seen the meme going around from Halo for like the New Year's? It's like it's a screenshot of like me. I'm gonna kind of butcher it, but basically it's like me in 2022, and it shows like Master Chief at the end of the Halo CE campaign, and it goes like me in 2023, and then it shows like, you know, that bug where like not bug, but like on PC for Halo 1 on PC, they were able to take the camera and kind of like look at Master Chief when he takes off his helmet, but then it's just his same exact helmet again.
Yes. Okay. I can picture that. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. I saw a couple of those.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh man, but I feel like that's something that goes around every year. You know.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think I've ever. Well, I don't know. I'd have to look at the list of resolutions that I've had before to see if I've really maintained or kept up any. Probably haven't. I wanted to run more this year, so I think I'll do that. I went on a run the other day.
Run more this year, like physically sprint.
Yeah, like physically run. You know.
I thought you were like running for a politician or something.
No.
Being that ambitious?
No, I don't think that I'm really interested in running for office or anything like that. I'd like to be on a school board though. That's something I might want to do.
President Trax.
President Trax. Yeah, I'll change my name. Trax.
Yeah, you have to legally change it.
No first or last name. It's just one name. Trax.
President Trax.
Trax 2036.
Name Trax. And then if you want to get real kinky, it could be like President DaddyTrax or something, you know?
Oh yeah, yeah. First name Daddy, last name Trax. Vote for DaddyTrax. To be like, who?
Yeah.
I'll start the all-nighter party.
The all-nighter party? What is that?
Well, like instead of Republican or Democrat, the all-nighter. Huh? It's the all-nighter party.
Oh, I see. I thought you were talking about like an actual like a party that goes all night or something. I was so confused. I was
That's what we're doing.
That happens. You get elected as president. You have to host an all-nighter party. Like that, that's your first act.
That'll be the marketing for the new party. It'll just be like it's the all-nighter. We just keep going. It's the all-nighter party.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. Oh, that must be exhausting. Just imagine President Joe Biden doing an all-nighter party.
Yeah. But that'll be it. It'll be like, hey, look, vote for me, and the party never stops. You know?
See, there you go. Got ourselves a campaign slogan here. I think.
There we go. The party never stops. Vote DaddyTrax. The party won't stop.
Party never ends.
Yeah. You know how they do like decorations and stuff like that at the White House? Actually, I don't know if you know that or not, but like they
I did not know that actually.
Every president who comes in gets to kind of redecorate it and then like add something or take something out. Like I think I could be wrong about this, but
on the inside or the outside?
On the inside. I'm pretty sure that Barack Obama had like a I don't know if it's like a half court or something like that, but for like basketball, like he had something put in there. I think some presidents have had like a little like bowling alley or something like that. And then of course like the curtains and the decorations and stuff like that, like they'll change as well. So I'll get in there and we'll just constantly have music blasting, you know, that you can hear from like the street and everything like that. We'll get some like strobe lights going off and stuff like that, you know, just 24/7.
The Covenant Dance song from Halo CE.
Exactly, just on repeat for 4 years.
Like, you know. So wait, okay, hold on. So is it like every single room that they are able to redecorate, or is there specific rooms in there that they are able to kind of just do whatever the heck they want in there?
Good question. I think they get to change things like paintings. I think they get to change things like obviously they're not like restructuring walls or anything like that, but I think like paintings and curtains and like that kind of stuff, probably silverware, stuff like that.
Just when you become like president, you can like get everyone to. Can you change everyone's attire? Can you make them look like lab assistants or something?
What can
you just have like portraits of like, you know, augmented super soldiers and all that stuff, so you can always make it look like you're augmenting like Spartan 2s.
That's a great idea. That's what I would like have your
whole Halo, like, UNSC themed White House for them.
Yeah, just have the have like the Secret Service all in like Spartan cosplay and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly.
There you go. There you go. I'm sure MH Cosplay would love to do stuff like that for the Secret Service.
My internet is just not working. I'm trying to look at decorating the White House, but this website is just not popping up. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, there we go. WhiteHouseHistory.org. Be a part of White House history. No thanks. I just want to. Okay. Wow, this is like way more than I thought.
Know, when he does run for president, he will be.
Wow, look at that. Okay, the amount of allowances for redecorating of the residence has risen over time. The $14,000 appropriated to John and Abigail Adams in 1800 remained steady until it was raised to $20,000 in 1833. By the time Bill Clinton was in office,
specific budget. Interesting.
Yeah, by the time Bill Clinton was in 1999, it was $100,000 just to redecorate.
Well, what what dictates how much money you can put into that then?
Great question.
You know, like,
Congress, maybe?
Like, who is it? Oh, Congress? Okay, I guess that would make sense.
That's just a guess.
Like, or is the president like the? I guess. Okay, well now we're just getting into some political stuff. But like, is the president allowed to add like more? Like, if they wanted to put their money towards it, would they do that?
Okay, good question. That's actually a really good question. Okay, here we go. Congress approved funds enabling a new president to carry out structural improvements and purchase new furnishings from auctions, private sales, and other sources, as well as occasionally authorizing the sale of furnishings that were out of repair or unfit for use. I don't know what that means. So I guess you just get to replace everything. Furniture.
Oh, okay.
Stuff like that. This is not a very good fact sheet. I feel like there's not enough in here to really help me understand what all they're allowed to. Anyway, that's what I would do though. I would have a rave and it would just keep going forever.
I would continue just putting like portraits of like Halo windows or something, environments to make it look Halo. And
yeah, exactly.
Spartan armor hull or something.
You take down all the portraits of the presidents and you put up like Master Chief, Sergeant Johnson, Miranda Keys.
We could keep the president like I guess their portraits up there, but we just have to put like a Spartan helmet on top.
Oh yeah, that's even better. Just like a paper cutout of a Spartan helmet on top.
Oh my god! Or you could just have like a Spartan armor portrait of each president that best represents them and how they ruled. I mean, that's way too much thought into it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that idea though. I think I'll do that. Vote for me. Vote for DaddyTrax. 2032. I'll run. You have to be 35. You can't be younger than 35. So I wouldn't be able to run until, let's see, it's 2023 now. Next year is the presidential election. I'll be 32, or no, I'll be 33 before that election, which means I'll have to wait.
Already?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, like towards the end of 2024, so it's really like 2 years. But I'll have to do it in 2028. Would be the earliest that I could run for president. I think my number one thing is, first off, the all-nighter party. I think that's a great idea. The all-nighter party. We'll do that. I'll promise to redecorate it in Halo-themed everything. I'll instruct the military to create an actual warthog and use it in the field. I'm sure the military will be thrilled with me.
One warthog.
Yeah. Look, I'm commander-in-chief. I'm in charge of the executive branch and the military. I'm doing it.
Yeah, there you go. I guess that would make sense. Yeah, sure.
And then I'll start construction on Pelicans, stuff like that, you know, planning those kind of aircraft. I'll promise to talk like a human being, you know, for speeches. It'll be great in press conferences.
Is that a jab at something that I'm not certain of?
Well, I mean, politicians always have like the politician speak, you know.
Oh, I see. It's like a whole other language?
Yeah, like you'll ask me a question, like a direct question. You'll be like, DaddyTrax, what are you going to do about crime across the country, right? And then instead of saying like, well, I plan on doing this, what I would say is, look, we are aware of the issues across the country when it comes to crime, and just so you know, we have seen a decrease in this kind of crime and a decrease in this kind of crime, and we got increases of this in this area, blah blah blah. And then by the end of it, you're like, I don't even remember what I asked you, dude. You just did not even answer the question. So we're going exact answers with me. Okay, exact. They're gonna go, hey dude, what are you thinking about doing about crime? And I'm gonna go, I'm gonna hire 5 million police officers, and they're gonna stand 6 feet apart from each other in every major city in the United States, and I'll put them in all the streets. And they'll go, what are you talking about? Is that even feasible? You know, are people gonna be okay with that? Isn't that like martial law? And then I'll just be like, I think you're thinking way too much about it. That's just my idea. But what do I know? That's what I'll do. I'll end everything with, well, what do I know? That's my idea. Well, what do I know? You're pressing it.
You're shooting yourself in the foot before you even start.
I'll get in there, and then they'll go like...
Is that anything you can say, right? I don't know.
I'll get in there, and then they'll be like, hold on, maybe we should like take powers away from this guy, you know? I'll like bring it back to balance. I'm basically Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars.
Ah.
I'll become a dictator, and then at the very end, I'll overthrow the Emperor, and then get everything back into the New Republic.
Which one's the New Republic again?
I don't know. Episode 7. There's the Old Republic, which is before the prequels. They're all over the place. They got so many republics that have all like fallen apart, come back together, fallen apart.
Okay, so hold on. The first 3 movies, episode 1, 2, and 3, had
the Republic,
Separatists, and the Republic, right?
Correct. Yeah, but that Republic is called the High Republic, I believe.
Okay, and the Separatists are those were your Sith lords and all that stuff, right?
Not exactly, actually. So the Sith was leading the Separatists. And Count Dooku was a part of the Separatists, but Count Dooku, I don't believe, was a Sith. He wasn't Darth.
Sith Lord?
Nah, he wasn't Darth anything. He was Count Dooku. But he was...
Oh, you have to be a Darth in order to be a Sith?
Well, I thought that all Siths were Darths, but I could be wrong about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I am wrong about that, because at the end of Attack of the Clones, Count Dooku is hanging out with the Emperor. I forgot about that. Okay, so I take that back. Yes. The Separatists were being led by the Sith.
Darth Sidious.
Darth Sidious. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Oh, I'll do that voice. When I get into office, day 1 when I get in, I'll switch my voice up. Like, ladies and gentlemen, I am DaddyTrax. And I'll be like, what is happening? Why is he talking like this? My inaugural speech.
Like, the whole like hood and like wrinkles.
Oh yeah, dude. I'll put the hood on. I'll get like a makeup artist on to like add some layers of lines and stuff like that to my face, make it look all wrinkly. It's like, what is going on with him?
Oh my lord! Just imagine. Okay, so like, I can only imagine these meetings would be like, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and you're gonna be spending like another 3 hours just putting makeup on your face just so that you can do this. Like, you're gonna be an exhausted president.
They'll be like,
in the middle of your speech, you're gonna be snoring. Like,
I'll be in the situation room or whatever, and they'll be like, "Sir, we got the target, and we can, we just need your permission to fire." And I'm like, "Do it," and then they'll shoot the missile. Do it. They're like, wow, this guy.
Like, hold your hands up the way he does when he does his zapping.
I'll do it to like a reporter. They'll be like, "What is he doing?"
Or would you be like Darth Vader, who just like just tries to do the force choke?
I'll have like a sound system put into like the press room where everything starts like kind of vibrating, and I'll just like look at the guy and like put my hand up like I'm choking him. Like, what is up with why did we elect him?
Have the chairs so the chairs are just like bolted to the ground, like they have like some kind of like reclining system or whatever, where you can just like push the chair up while you're making the force choke action.
I'll change all the doors to sliding doors with sensors, but then I'll pretend I'm using the force to open them.
Yeah.
Like, wow, this guy's really wacky.
How did we go from a Halo president to now a Star Wars president?
We're doing all of it. We'll put all the lore in there.
It's a connected universe. That's what
we'll do everything. I'll show up one day looking like Ganondorf. They'll be like, what? Oh, we don't even know what to do with this guy.
Every appearance you make, you have to come in as a new character.
I'm like, the most important thing is for us to focus on the Triforce of Power. People are gonna be like, what is he talking about? Why is he saying that?
Oh man, yeah. Would you be like the most cultured president at that point then?
Maybe.
If you end up like...
Some people will enjoy it for sure. Some people will be like, this is great. Other people are going to be freaking out because they're going to go like, I don't understand. This guy's not presidential, blah, blah, blah. And I'm about like, dude, this is like, this whole thing's been a joke, so I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They're just gonna think that you're just joking the entire time.
Exactly.
This president's not taking this seriously. He's taking it like a joke.
Then I'll get makeup done, and then like I'll go and meet a world leader, and I'll be like, "You want to know how I got these scars?" And I'm like, "Jesus, what's happening here, dude? You called me a joke. I'll show you some jokes."
And then all of a sudden, Batman comes through the door.
Dude, it'd just be a wild ride. It would just the whole thing. CNN wouldn't know what to do.
Batman's not gonna let you be a president if you're the Joker, man. That's not happening.
I would unite the country, though. I'd have every cable news network like angry with me, be like, "What is he doing? This guy's awful. He's terrible." You know, it'd be
That could be a cool story to make. Is
exactly
that in the comics? I wonder if there's a point in the comics where Joker ever became the president.
I sort of doubt that. Probably not.
Like, just imagine there's a story somehow, in some way, shape, or form, he becomes a politician, and then just like pure chaos.
Yes.
When he becomes president, and Batman has to try to take him down, but he has to try to take down the Secret Service at the same time, and all that.
Right.
Oh my
Batman's
Lord.
up for treason and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's write it.
Ooh. DC Comics, let's get on that.
DC, reach out to us. We got ideas over here.
343 doesn't seem to be taking us on.
343 is not list. Although that's not true. The one week we were complaining about not having a custom game browser, and then all of a sudden the next week, boom, it popped up. So you know what? Like, I think we just got to keep trying. We just got to keep trying.
Just got to keep shooting them ideas.
I think I want to write an article or something, or an essay.
Really? Okay,
yeah.
Go on.
Maybe we'll make a podcast episode out of it. I want to call it The Case for 343.
How about we change it to Dear 343?
I don't want it to be a letter to them, though. I want it to be a letter to the community.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Right? Like, a 343 here's enough. You know, they get so much feedback. Everybody's telling them old Halo sucks, old Halo's great, new Halo sucks, you guys suck, this sucks, everything sucks. I want to make the case for 343. Because look, and I was thinking about this because I was listening to last week's episode. I and many Halo fans are critical of 343. Not because we hate 343, but because we want to see just excellence, right? We're like Gordon Ramsay. And we're at the pass, and 343 is on the red team, and we go, okay, where's the food? Right? They bring the food up. We inspect the plate. We look at the plate, and we go, this fried fish, it's soggy. Right? And then the 343 as the cook is kind of like, look, I'm trying my best here. I'm under pressure. You're screaming at me. You're yelling at me. I'm trying to do my best here. And like us Halo fans are actually, it's more like this. It's more like Gordon Ramsay times 100. Okay, so there's 100 Gordon Ramsays. 343 is the one cook and the chef. They bring up the one plate. And like 90% of the Gordon Ramsays are unhappy with it, but 10% are okay with it. And it's like they're just trying to get the food right. But there's so many different opinions about what Halo's supposed to be and what it's supposed to look like that like they can't possibly please everybody. So they're trying their best. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is that it's very easy to be critical of 343. Right? It's very easy to look at all the things and look at what Halo used to be, whatever, compare it and go like, wow, you guys can't even do this, whatever. But you know what? I think that there's a case to be made for 343 in support of 343 because it's not all bad. It's really not. You know what's one thing that they did that nobody talks about anymore?
What is one thing that they did that nobody talks about anymore?
They solved Sprint. They solved it. They didn't get rid of it, but they solved it. Sprint is no longer a debate in the Halo community, and it was like a heated topic for like ever since it came out in Reach. Mm-hmm. Not a word about it anymore because it's solved. It's fixed. They fixed it.
Right.
That's incredible. Like, you look at people who are pro sprint or anti-sprint, right? Like I was very anti-sprint. I didn't want sprint in Halo. I didn't believe that it belonged. I didn't think it was needed. I thought they just put it in there because they were trying to quote unquote modernize it. Whatever. So somebody like me believed you needed to get rid of sprint to make Halo work. People who are pro sprint were like, no, we need sprint for Halo games. Otherwise it feels too slow paced, blah, 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 whatever. And there were all these debates and all these arguments about how you needed it, how you didn't need it, whatever. And then Halo Infinite comes out and guess what? Not a word. Not a word! They fixed sprint. That's incredible. No praise.
Yeah, that was a heated debate for years.
For years. For years.
A decade's worth of a problem. You know?
And people were maybe happy for about 5 minutes, you know? And then like, I get it. There's things that aren't, there's things that aren't perfect. I totally get it. And I'm not saying that there's criticisms that aren't valid. I think they're all valid, but I think that there's a case to be made for 343, and I want to make it. I want to make that case.
Okay. Then go for it, man.
I think I will. They
it is definitely hard boots to fill, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just because of how split the Halo community is in general about everything. And you even said it yourself earlier, like, you know, the old Halo versus the new Halo stuff, you know? A lot of people like the old Halo stuff, but the new generation that's coming in now may not like the quote unquote slower paced old Halo games.
Yeah.
Right?
They play a Halo 3 or they play Halo 2 and they go like, oh, it's so slow. Now, don't get me wrong. I always thought that Halo 3 was kind of slow. I really did. Halo 2 I thought was fast-paced. Halo 3 I thought was kind of slow. In fact, when Halo 4 came out, I actually really liked Halo 4 because I felt like it was faster-paced and more along the lines of Halo 2. Like, if I were going to rank the multiplayers, I'm going Halo 2, Halo 5, if we're taking Infinite out of it, because I actually absolutely adore.
Oh, you were thinking there for a second. I thought you cut out.
No, I was like, hold on a second. I gotta preface this before people start thinking like, dude, you're putting Halo 5 ahead of Halo Infinite. What are you talking about? Like, no, I thought Halo 2 was the best multiplayer. It was fast paced, quick, hit registration with the BR, all that kind of stuff. It wasn't perfect, but I loved Halo 2 multiplayer. Halo 3 I felt like was slower, felt a little bit more floaty. You know, Halo 4, I liked it. It was faster. The thing that I didn't like was like some of the sprint, the loadouts, that kind of stuff. But in terms of movement, I didn't mind Halo 4 at all. Halo 5 was peak. Again, Halo 2, Halo 5 in my books. And then maybe I'd even put Halo 4 above Halo 3 if I'm being honest. I love how Halo 3's multiplayer was implemented, and I liked a lot of the maps for Halo 3. But at the same time, I also didn't like a lot of the maps for Halo 3. Snowbound was like never really that much fun to play on. Epitaph was really annoying. It was like Construct, High Ground, Guardian. I mean, Guardian's beloved. Guardian's like a 10 out of 10. It's hard to beat a map like Guardian. Guardian was great. I hated Sandtrap. I didn't like Sandtrap at all.
Avalanche.
I like Sandtrap, but only for like custom games. Like Rocket Race, Sandtrap was at its peak. Okay. But like for regular big team battle, Sandtrap was, I didn't like it. I think I'm actually fairly critical of a lot of 343 maps. Not 343. What am I saying? Halo 3 maps. Avalanche, I didn't love either. I was never a giant fan of Sidewinder. I didn't have like the nostalgia of playing Halo CE and playing on Sidewinder, so I didn't necessarily love Avalanche either.
Sidewinder for Avalanche. Now, instead of it just being the U shape it was, they also kind of like added like
that part in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. It's to make it a little bit faster paced in regards to like having action going on. Let alone the man cannons that shoot you from one side to the other, which is really fun.
Well, I'm with you there. Like, I think that Avalanche is a better design than Sidewinder, but I never played on, like, the way that I think about it, like, when do I see what map I'm playing on and I'm like, oh yes, I'm excited for that. Like, I never had that experience with the Avalanche. I was never like, oh yes, I'm excited for that. But I was that way when I saw Guardian. I was that way when I saw Construct. Construct is another 4v4 map that I really like from Halo 3. But I wasn't the biggest fan of a lot of the 343. Why do I keep saying 343? Halo 3 maps. The Pit. I love the Pit. The Pit was great. So, whatever.
The Pit became a beloved one, too.
Point I'm trying to make, though, right, is like, when it comes to the multiplayers, I think Halo Infinite has done a lot right, and they don't get any credit. It's not really popular to be positive. You know, if you're positive and you say only good things, you get criticized for being toxic positivity. Have you ever heard that term, toxic positivity?
No, I've actually not heard the term of toxic positivity. What does that,
yeah,
what does that mean?
It's like, it's like if you say anything bad, it's like, no, it's all good. It's all positive, I guess is the idea. But I think there's nothing wrong with being positive. We're doing a Halo podcast, for God's sake. We have to like Halo in some kind of respect. There's good things about Halo.
Also, respectfully, we also like should be able to like, you know, have our own opinion in regards to like.
For sure.
Halo, like the Halo direction it should be.
For sure.
Right?
I just yeah.
Not being too rude about it or fight, literally just, you know, fisticuffs with everybody about your own opinion. Like, you know, it's valid that you like. I don't get mad at you for hating Halo 3. You know.
I don't hate it. I hear you.
I'm not gonna get all pissy with you because you don't like Halo 3 or Halo Reach. But I very much enjoy Halo. I'm on the opposite side of you in that regard. Like, I think Halo 3 was much faster paced than most people think. Right? And yeah, but I'm not gonna be like, well, you're an idiot for thinking that Halo 3 is the worst Halo game ever, you know? Like,
and here's, like, I've played thousands and thousands of hours of Halo 3. Like, I like Halo 3 a lot. But if I'm, like, looking at how the multiplayer functions, it's not my favorite. It's really not. But, like, that's also okay. Like, I can also say, hey, Halo 3 wasn't my favorite, but, like, I still loved playing it. Loved playing it. You know what Halo 3 did the best? Warthog physics, 100%. I loved the Warthog in Halo 3. I loved all that kind of stuff.
It's absolute insanity. You get a Warthog.
Oh yeah, so good. But yeah, so that's what I want to do, and maybe I'll do that. Maybe next week podcast will be built around that. The case for 343.
That's quite interesting.
Yeah.
I'd like to see what you come up with.
I think I'll have some compelling stuff. I think I'll have some good things. And here's the thing: it's not going to be all excuses. Like, it's not going to be like the case for 343. Well, they were a new studio when they made Halo 4, and they were still trying to figure things out, and they had a bunch of different writers. It's not their fault. The creative leads kept... No excuses. I'm talking about the case for 343, not the excuses for 343. All right, so I'm going to be making a case for why they're a good developer. I'm going to be making a case for why Halo is best in their hands. Ugh, I got to be careful how I say that, because I don't even think I believe that. I got to say how 343 is carrying Halo well.
The immediate reaction right after.
It's like, well, I don't know about that. But... Oh, look at this. I got a new phone case. I don't know if you can see it or not.
Did you now?
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
Is that the Master Chief from the teaser trailer for Halo 5?
Correct, with the cape and everything.
Nice. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's ready to wake some stuff up in the desert.
So wake up, yeah. He's just in Egypt, ready to wake up. You know, the Guardians.
Yeah.
Holding on and clutching on to that little microchip that has Cortana on it, or used to have Cortana on it.
Sad moments. What do you think the weapon is going to call herself when we get the DLC finally for Halo Infinite? Do you think she's going to go by the name Cortana?
I certainly hope it'll be Cortuna.
Oh my god. I instantly have like a headache and I feel nauseous now. Cartoona.
Cortuna, because it'd be like, yeah, exactly. Put the TWO for 2.0 in the name Cortana, and you got Cortuna.
If she calls herself Cortana, would you be upset about that?
If the weapon calls herself Cortana, would I be upset about? I really don't know, actually, now that I think about it. Because, like, she is modeled off Cortana.
Correct.
Right?
A clone, essentially.
She seems to have her own personality.
For sure.
That's different. That's Cortana. And she was also built for the one mission of... Well, we're getting into spoilers for Halo Infinite, I guess.
That's okay.
Deleting Cortana.
Right.
Right? So...
Right.
If you're built for the sole purpose of destroying a particular thing, would you be okay with naming yourself after said particular thing?
Yeah, because I think there's a part of her towards the end of Halo Infinite where she was kind of like, wait, that's me? That's who I was? I think she wants to like set the record straight for Cortana, you know? Kind of like I could see her calling herself Cortana as a way of sort of redeeming this program, redeeming this AI. Maybe not.
I feel like I would be on the side of like, no, let's have her own name.
It's just the name Cortana is so Halo, you know, which Master Chief and Cortana. To get rid of her completely, I always felt that way about them. Master Chief and the weapon. I need a weapon. I need the weapon.
I need the other weapon.
I need the other weapon. Master Chief. I need the weapon. I don't know.
No, I feel like she should probably come up with her own name other than the weapon. That's not Cortana. It would feel a little weird for me.
I like the idea, but I get what you're saying. It's a lot of Cortana.
Yeah, she's her own character.
Yeah, that's true. She is her own intelligence.
There you go. Yes, exactly. She is her own intelligence. It would be different if maybe like, okay, so if they ended up merging somehow, Fortuna and Cortana end up like.
Yes, let's do that.
Merging somehow.
Yep.
In some way, shape, or form.
Yep.
And then the new personality was overwhelmed, or like ended up becoming more like the weapon instead of the original Cortana, and then they dubbed themselves Cortana. I guess that could work.
I just don't know if there's anything from Cortana left over. Right at the end of Halo Infinite, they made it seem like she was kind of like that was kind of like her farewell, you know, before like sort of like moving on with everything. That's kind of the idea that I got from Halo Infinite. Like, okay, we're saying goodbye to Cortana and kind of fixing her character because we turned her into Darth Vader. Is that funny?
Cortana ends up becoming a mantle, you know?
Frankie had that one quote. He's like, you know, everybody's like misunderstanding Cortana from Halo 5. She's not like Darth Vader. And then literally in Halo Infinite, they show her blowing up a planet. It's like, that seems very Darth Vader to me.
Was it Darth Vader, though, or was it Emperor Palpatine?
Dun, dun, dun. Maybe Cortana's the chosen one.
Yeah, maybe Cortana is the chosen one.
And she'll throw Atriox off a cliff.
What, kind of like Atriox did to, like...
Chief? Yeah.
Infinite?
Yeah, she'll throw him out into space.
How the tables have turned! How terrible would that end up being, actually, if Cortana ended up being the one kicking Atriox's bum?
I'd be fine with that. Yeah, a little redemption arc there. I mean, she had her redemption because she blew up a whole bunch of shit, which allowed Chief to kind of live. Not live, but like I don't know. I'm still a little confused over the Halo Infinite story. I know we've gone over it a couple times on this podcast too, but I think it's still a mystery. Isn't it still a mystery what she did exactly?
See, and that's herein lies some of the problem. It's just the open worldness of the game, especially early on, didn't allow me to want to play the campaign multiple times over and over again, especially since we have mission replay.
Oh yeah, I know.
Right? And so now that we do have mission replay, I just can't get myself to jump into the open world stuff and like try to work the UI of mission replay and all that jazz. So like, I don't know, just trying to. If there was no open world, if there was mission replay, I probably would have played the campaign several times and maybe have a better understanding of what actually ended up happening in Halo Infinite's campaign. But I can't say that I did end up playing multiple times.
Do you think that,
like, go on?
I was just gonna say, do you think that like, okay, I'm trying to think of it. The story of Halo 1 was fairly easy to understand, right? Humanity running away from the Covenant, crash land on this, whatever this thing is. Turns out there's a parasite on it. You escape, you blow everything up, game's over. That's a fairly contained, easy to understand story, right?
Right. You weren't galaxy hopping, you were stuck on the ring, right? So
right.
There's that.
Halo 2 is where things started getting kind of confusing. The Covenant shows up at Earth, but we don't exactly know why. They escape, we follow them. We go to the old Halo. We kill the Prophet. The Flood kind of just turns up out of... Halo 2 is a little confusing the more I think about it. The Flood kind of comes out of nowhere. Like, I know where the Flood comes from, but it's not exactly explained why the Flood even exists in Halo 2. Like, why is the Flood on the mining facility? Like, that's not clear.
Weren't there Flood on all the Halo rings at some point for containment purposes?
Yes, right. Okay, so there was Flood on the mining facility. That Flood was left over from Halo 1. Then there was the Flood on Delta Halo, which is the Halo that you follow Regret to. That's where the Gravemind had already kind of taken over the whole thing and snagged you after you beat the piss out of Regret. Okay, so that makes sense. That Halo was already overrun by the Flood. They got out at some point. Then you're getting the Index, like the same thing that you did in Halo 1. Miranda gets it. They get Miranda. They try to activate the Halo. Then you turn it off, and then it goes into like standby mode, which is a little bit confusing. And then they're like, yeah, we got to get to the Ark. The Halo 2 is a little confusing in my estimation, if I'm being honest. I think on first playthrough, I'm probably like, what the fuck just happened?
Unless the Flood were already out by the time you landed on, or they got to that ring.
Yeah, I think the Flood was already out by the time you get to Delta Halo. Just because that
the reason why they didn't exactly get off of that ring was because no one was really there. It was like an isolated thing.
Right.
It's them just staying on the ring.
Right, they were just kind of chilling on the ring. Exactly. The Halo 3 is a fairly easy to understand story. You're on Earth. The Flood kind of shows up on Earth because of some kind of infected thing. The Covenant found a portal. Actually, I remember that being a little bit confusing. Why are the Covenant... What is that thing? Oh, that's a portal? Why the hell was there a giant portal? That doesn't even make any sense. Can't we just fly to the Ark? I remember thinking that. Can't they just, like, find the Ark in space and fly to it? Use light speed or whatever? Why do we have to go through a portal? That never made any sense to me. Anyway... But it's a little bit more easy to understand. You end up at the Ark. What's the Ark? Oh, it's a factory for Halos. Okay, easy to understand. Makes sense, right? Somehow these things have to get made. Now, we didn't get into how's the Ark made, but that's okay. So this thing makes the Halos. You're on it. the Halo's not ready to go. You fire the Halo, it blows up everything. It seems like you're trying to get through the portal collapses halfway. I think Halo 3 is fairly easy to understand compared to Halo 2. Halo 4, well, Halo Reach is very easy to understand. Halo 4 is when it's just because you're waking up the Forerunner. You need all the background for who this guy is, and that was the problem in the games, right? It's like, okay, here's this Forerunner, but what's his motivation? Why does he hate humanity? Why does he hate humanity right now? Why isn't he being cooperative? Why is he beaming everybody? You know, like there was a bunch of questions of like, I didn't understand. I understood the Covenant's motives, right? They wanted the great journey. It was like a divine, it was like a religious thing for them. Okay, easy to understand. I did not understand the Didact's motivations. I didn't get it. Why is he so angry? And then you had that whole cutscene with the librarian, which was essentially, hey, we know the story isn't making sense, so we're going to kind of just like info dump on you right now. And then it's like, hopefully you came out of that cutscene and you're like, okay, I know what's going on. But I didn't really get that either. You know, there's just like, I don't know. You get to Halo 5 and Cortana's back. Well, how the hell did she live? Because I remember her saying goodbye to me and it was really sad. How is she alive? What the hell's the domain? Like, who is the Eternal Warden? What even is that position? It was just a bunch that just, it was like, okay, here's characters, but like I didn't get it. Why was his motivation that? Why was he was protecting her, but then he obeyed her, and like they were letting Chief in, but then they were stopping Chief. It was just, honestly, just a bit confusing. And then you get to Halo Infinite and they're rebooting, right? So you got UNSC versus Banished. Okay, fair enough. That's easy to follow. Here's this Harbinger character, and I don't know if I really understand her motives. I think her motives were to wake up the rest of the Endless. I don't know. I just... There's like a level of confusion when I play these games for the first time. I don't, maybe I'm just a moron, maybe I'm just a dummy, but like I play it and I'm just like, I don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing. And it's been like that since Halo 3 or Halo Reach, chronologically since Halo 3. Well, Halo 4 kind of made sense, right? I'm trying to get off this planet thing. I got to follow this guy, stop him from getting his big spaceship. So Halo 4 actually, while the characters didn't necessarily make sense, the narrative in the, like what was happening was making sense. So it's been since Halo 4 since I've really been able to follow a Halo campaign, I feel like. I don't know. Am I off base here? Do you feel like these were easier to understand? Do you identify with me? What do you think, Mystery? I've kind of been just going on a tangent here.
I can agree with you in regards to Halo 4, Halo 5, and Infinite, mostly just because, well, I feel like there's a lot of homework that needs to be done to understand motives for people like the Didact. And I'm still on the side of very much of, like, I think we should have a novel timeline, a game timeline, and, like, timelines of any other kind of media that ends up being a thing. And just, you know, grab things from each timeline that you feel like you would would expand your timeline, and don't have to follow it exactly, but as long as you stay on in the canon of whatever your timeline is, you know, it'll be fine. You know?
Yeah, I like the idea of, sorry,
to understand Halo 4 and Halo 5.
Right, exactly. Yeah, but books should, and like the newest book that came out by Kelly Gay was excellent, right? It was like, hey, you play Halo Infinite and you're Master Chief and you're in space, whatever, you wake up. Okay, well, there was some time that happened in between when you lost that 1v1 versus Atriox. And during that time, here's a couple other squads of humans and Spartans that landed on the ring. Perfect supplemental information. You don't need it for Halo Infinite. There's nothing in there that's absolutely necessary to understand what's happening in Halo Infinite. It's just extra information. Very much like the novelization of Halo 1. Like with the book The Flood. It went through all of Master Chief's parts, but then it told the story of what the rest of humanity was doing on the ring. That was perfect. It was perfect. It expanded, gave you a deeper understanding of the Flood. Like that was perfect. And the book for between Halo 2 and between Halo 1 and Halo 2 was perfect. That didn't need to be a game, but it kind of explained like where Johnson came from and stuff like that. You didn't need to know what happened with Johnson for Halo 2 to work. It was classified. Oh, okay, well, what the fuck happened? Oh, here's this book that talks about it. But when you talk about major plot points and a major narrative, like in Halo 4 and Halo 5, I like you said, like we can't, books can't be required reading. And I know people say like you don't need to read the books to understand Halo 4. I'm sorry, but if you don't read the Forerunner trilogy, it is significantly more confusing, especially coming off the original trilogy, which was fairly easy to follow. Covenant, bad guys. Human, good guys. Flood, also bad guys. Everyone's fighting each other. Stop the rings from firing. Easy enough.
Yeah, I mean, well, when you're creating the first title, I suppose, Halo CE in this situation, like, you have it really contained, right? But then the problem with sequels in video games in general, and just storytelling in general, is you now have to expand, right? You can't just stay in another secluded area, if you will.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? And with that, there's a bunch of questions, and then from there you have to branch out even more, and you have to branch out even more, and obviously from there, when you have so many branches, it gets super convoluted if those links are kind of weak. Right?
You're right. Yeah, eventually it starts crumbling under its own weight if it's not supported very, very well. You're 100% right about that.
So I mean, that is something, I guess, to consider, and that is something that is a common problem with sequels in general, right? Like they do try to expand, and that's one of the first things you have to think of. We have to make the world bigger now, right? But then like, is there a point where the world gets too large with no support and it crumbles, or like how do you balance it in a way where you have a large world but there's still enough things that are attaching, and like there's still strong attachments that still stay to the core of what was the original vision.
Right. Yeah, it's tough. And it's not like Halo's the only ones who struggle with doing sequels upon sequels upon sequels. It's hard. It's really hard to do, especially to keep everybody kind of happy. I don't know. I think out of Halo 4, 5, and Infinite, to me, Infinite offers the most. Like, Infinite's the one that I'm most interested in to see kind of like what happens next. Like, I wanted for it to happen because I just wanted to see what was going to happen next with Master Chief. But in terms of like when that story ended, like, yeah, I was excited for Halo 5, but Halo 4 was kind of wrapped up in itself. Didn't really. Presumably at the end of Halo 4, the Didact is dead. Cortana is dead. You're kind of back to just humans and Covenant. Halo 5 shows up and you got the Warden Eternal and Cortana, and it's like, what is happening here? Halo Infinite, kind of understanding who the Endless are is exciting to me. There's a lot of possibilities that show up with an alien race that's not bound by time. Like that's really interesting to me, and I'm excited to see sort of like what happens there.
Something that would be good to know when you're completing the Halo Infinite campaign is why the Endless is a threat. Like, we understand why the Flood is a threat in Halo CE, because, well, they're an infection, right? And, like, that can cause a problem because you see it firsthand.
Right.
You don't see any of that in Halo Infinite at all. Right?
Yeah.
You're told that they're a threat. Okay? But, like, what makes them scary?
Right, like the four.
We'll find out in Halo Infinite 2.0, whatever the next thing is. But
yeah, you're definitely right about that. Like, I don't understand. Like, the Forerunners thought that they were a threat, but why? I don't remember that. What were they not happy about? Because they weren't able to get infected by the Flood because of the timelessness or whatever? Like, that seems
the
like
Didact hate them more than they hate the humans. Like,
yeah, seems like a silly reason to imprison a bunch of people. Right. If anything, you would put them on the front lines to fight the Flood. Like, I don't really understand the motivation of the Forerunners to imprison them all. And then I don't really know what their motivations are. What are the motivations of the Endless? I mean, the motivation of the Harbinger was to free her friends, right? To free the Endless. How was she free, though? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Unless the Banished freed her.
The Banished freed her, yeah.
Okay.
Because the Banished were looking for her, specifically. And that is I think that is said early on in the campaign, very early on in the campaign.
Do we remember why they were looking for her?
See, now that part I don't exactly remember. She might have, and if I remember correctly, she might have some kind of information that they're going to need for whatever it is that they're trying to do.
Right. And that's what I mean. Like, it's like, why is everybody's motivation unclear? That, like, God, like, that needs to be more clear. I don't know anyone's motivation.
Yeah, exactly. We also know that, like, Atriox is really upset with Cortana because of what she did to their planet.
And that's fair. And that's like, that was okay. Like, why did the Banished show up at the ring? Oh, Atriox was pissed because she blew up that planet. Like, okay, that's fair. Atriox is a villain, Atriox is a bad guy, totally makes sense to me. He might be the only character who I understand why he's doing what he's doing.
Right. Yeah, but then like, they also had, like, they had the other characters that were coming in, like, for example, Escharum. He knew he was gonna die soon anyways. He just wanted to have one big challenge before he died. That big challenge was Master.
Right.
And then you had Jaega, or whatever his name is, the Elite. Right? He did anything and everything that Escharum had ordered. Right?
Right.
And he was the Spartan killer. He hates Spartans. I don't exactly know why he hates Spartans. I can't remember why. I'm pretty sure there was, like, wasn't there, like, a cannon fodder thing on him and why he hates Spartans?
I think he was just good at killing them. And look, like, most of the Covenant hated Spartans. It wasn't until the Arbiter that there was any kind of alliance between them. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the villains are fairly easy to understand, with the exception of maybe the Harbinger. Like, I get she's trying to free her friends, but, like, why didn't she go like, hey, what's up, guys? What's up, Master Chief? You want to help me do this thing? Like, why so violent, you know?
Well, Master Chief had already, like, anybody and everybody on that ring that is not human is a threat, no matter what. Remember, they had that one throwaway line from the weapon. Why do you always assume everyone's a threat? Maybe he's, trying to help or something.
Oh, right, you're right.
And then he got attacked, right? So, and even meeting, like, the new monitor and all that stuff, right? Like, initially she was, I'm pretty sure she was very much like, you're always so cynical against everything, and, like, he gets attacked. You know?
Right. Yeah, he's used to it. He gets what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just hope that that's a little bit more clear. And again, with Joe Staten kind of leading everything moving forward, I think things will be more clear. I think we'll get a fleshed out what the Endless are, who they are, what their motivations are. I have a lot of faith in him sort of running the story. So hopefully all that ends up making sense.
What can we possibly be looking forward to this year for Halo Infinite?
Ooh. Well,
so yeah, we do have our story expansions, right? The story expansion that is coming out, right? I assume.
Not in this year, but yeah.
It's not this year?
No.
Okay. So at least you can cross that off the list, but hopefully, and I'm crossing my fingers here, and I'm really hoping that like there is no major developments that like cause problems for the story that Joseph Sten wants to tell. Just because like this is going to be like all hands on deck for him. You know, like he's not restructuring anything. This is a story straight from him, from beginning to end, kind of thing, right? And that's something I'm definitely looking forward to for Halo Infinite, right? I'm kind of holding hope that, you know, the story that is going to be told there is going to be something really good, right?
Yeah.
But we have to speak on behalf of multiplayer here, though, right? Because multiplayer, we've had some cool stuff come very recently, right? With the whole like the custom games browser, Forge is out and all that kind of stuff. But like, what can we look forward to in 2023? You know, for Halo. And what would we like to see, kind of thing, for Halo?
Yeah, so I think two different things we're really going to see this year. One is on the pro side, they're revamping the HCS settings and getting ready for season 2 of HCS. In fact, they announced their first major for Charlotte in February, the end of February, which is exciting. So we'll have another world championship and everything like that. They're revamping the settings in a way that pro players are happy about, which I'm happy about because I generally kind of like the pro settings where I would be perfectly fine if they got rid of every single weapon except for the sniper rifle and the battle rifle for pro Halo. Like I really like I don't need to see any other weapons. I really don't. But they got some more maps and stuff like that. So HCS is kind of getting an update. As it comes to the rest of the game, we know for sure that they have confirmed we are going to have 3-month seasons moving forward. So 3-month seasons for like season 3. Season 3 starts, I want to say March. But yeah, season 3, season 4, season 5. So we should get 3 multiplayer seasons this year, and they should all be very they should all only be 3 months long. Aside from that, I think that we're going to see things like Griffball this year. I think we'll see Infection this year. Now that Forge and the custom game browser is out and everything like that, I think when it comes to custom games and modes and stuff like that, I think we'll see a lot of that fleshed out. And then hopefully it's implemented into regular multiplayer well. I think that's the one question I'm like not 100% sure if they're going to do well. Is like, are we going to get a Griffball playlist? Are we going to get Rocket Race? Like some of these old school custom games that are beloved and are so much fun, like we just kind of need to get them in matchmaking somehow, because the custom game browser is awesome, but I also want to just be able to boot up matchmaking and just get into like a rocket race game.
I mean, that'd be really cool. It'd be really cool to do some regular matchmaking with some of our old classic kind of game types that we have loved for so many years. However, I do have some concerns, and the concerns include, we already have Forge out right now. We have a custom browser.
Yeah.
And so when they do officially announce, oh hey, we're gonna have Griffball matchmaking, could it be as successful, or would it be worse numbers wise? Just because like we already have, I guess, it in the sense of right now.
No, I think it'll be better because like in the custom game browser, like you have to search for games. It's not always a guarantee that somebody's running a lobby with Griffball. The other problem is like if you go in, like let's say somebody is doing Griffball in a custom game, right? You join, you happen to get in, awesome. You have to count on the leader of that party not changing the game to something else. I've run into this a couple times where people are playing like sumo wrestling or something like that. I get in and then the game ends, finally I'm into the lobby, and then they decided to change it and put like Slayer on some map, and I'm like, well, I didn't want to play Slayer, I wanted to play this other thing. So one of the issues with the custom game browser is that like there's still this kind of, people don't really understand that like when a lobby is running for a certain type of game type, you kind of just have to keep that alive while you're in it, and then when you leave you just give it to somebody else, and then like they're supposed to just kind of keep running it. I feel like this worked perfectly fine in MCC. I would join custom game lobbies for like dodgeball and stuff like that, and it would just keep going, and or duck hunt, and they would just keep doing duck hunt after duck hunt after duck. And then when I was tired of duck hunt, I would just leave, and then I would go find some other custom game lobby, playing the same game over and over. My experience with Halo Infinite has not been like that. My experience with Halo Infinite has been, I get into a game, I'm coming in the middle or towards the end, and then they switch up the game type or the map or whatever it is. And it's like, okay, well, that's not why I joined this. So, matchmaking for Griffball, I think, would be much better than relying on Griffball in the custom game lobby for sure. That's just my opinion.
Right, and my concern is maybe like the maps that they choose to throw in to like these playlists. Right?
Yeah.
Because they're, I mean, what are they going to do? Are they going to like take a look to see what is the most played custom game, Griffball like game type or map that's in the custom games browser, and then just take that and throw it into a playlist? Or are they going to actually play test it and like see if there's any kind of things that needs to be tested out beforehand and then
yeah, I imagine that they would do a bunch of, yeah, I imagine that they'll do like a bunch of testing and stuff like that, and hopefully what they have is like a team, and you could probably get away with like 2 or 3 people who are basically playing some of these custom games, looking at the numbers, seeing what's most popular, and then taking the maps, taking the game types, and seeing, hey, is there anything that we have to change here to make sure it's good for matchmaking, and then just like implement it. I would love to see a community playlist that is rotated, maybe every month gets some new modes added or subtracted out of it or something like that, kind of like an actions. I think in Halo 3 it was called Action Sack, where it was just a bunch of like different random custom games that people created, and they would put it into that playlist. Like, we need an Action Sack for Halo Infinite.
Okay, yeah. Other things that I am hoping to see in the year 2023 for Halo, and we know there's going to be big updates, right?
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we are going to see more weapons put in on maps for big team battle. For example, we only get like 1 or 2 battle rifles.
Yeah.
Right? I would love to have access to more battle rifles, or just more, traditional weaponry that we could use that's not always a power weapon. Like we have quite a few commando rifles out there. You got the shock rifle, that's great. But I want to be able to pick up a battle rifle, and my friend wants to be able to pick up a battle rifle. But I would like to have 2 or 3 people, maybe 4 people that have a battle rifle on that team, right? And like I would like to see like a big team battle update that adds that kind of stuff. You don't have to have weapon pads everywhere. Just have it somewhere in the map like it used to be. Just on the floor or something.
Yeah.
It would be nice just to kind of, make it a little bit more, not fair, but make it a little bit more fun for me, because like I'm not having fun trying to hunt down a battle rifle. And that's a weapon I tend to use a lot.
Yeah, and
to use in big team battle.
In big team battle, it should be BR starts. I don't understand why it doesn't start with the BR. What game had it where you had BR starts with big team battle? Was it Halo 5? I feel like there was some Halo game,
sure.
Yeah, where it was like every big team battle game you started out with a battle rifle. It makes way more sense for big team battle than anything else.
Right, yeah. And I feel like that would definitely change the landscape of big team battle in general, is having more weapons available, having like more vehicles, or like having like better spawns for vehicles, or all that kind of stuff would also make it better. Throwing in other weapons to kind of balance out vehicles as well would be nice. Do we have big team heavies? Is that a thing? Or is that
No.
not a thing? It's not a thing right now.
I don't think
Right?
so.
Like I would love to. I would definitely love to have that kind of stuff, and I'm hoping that's gonna end up happening in a big update or of some sort for Big Team Battle.
Yeah.
Because I hate to say it, I do enjoy. I have moments that I enjoy, but it's not something I'm like always wanting to kind of jump into. BTB.
Yeah, and you know what? I think they. I know they won't want to hear this, but like, I think it's a good idea to mix in some legacy maps and legacy game types, like Headlong Assault. I feel like is a game type and map that should be in like every Halo game moving forward, and have all your new game types, have all your new maps and stuff like that. There should be classic experiences that people remember from previous games that were so enjoyable to put into the new game. Kind of like, I don't know, I just think about some of the maps for Big Team Battle that I love, and like in my head, like Coagulation comes up and Headlong comes up, and you know, Valhalla even comes up, and like some of these maps are, and just like, I don't know, like we have maps for Big Team Battle and Halo Infinite. Aside from the one Banished map, which I actually think is really dope, I just, they're kind of forgettable, some of the maps for Big Team Battle. And I don't know if it's because they're stuck in this whole like, oh, we need 3 lanes, so there's like 3 lanes on the map. And maybe some of these other maps traditionally don't really have that. You know, Coagulation is kind of like one just giant open, you know, canyon. Headlong doesn't have 3 lanes or anything like that. I don't know, and maybe I'm getting like a little bit too in the weeds here, but I guess what I'm saying is just like more maps, more variety of maps and game types, and some like traditional game types. Assault, Capture the Flag. Like Stockpile is okay, but I don't know. There's something missing from Big Team Battle still, I feel like, for me.
Yeah. And for me, I think it's like the women, like lack thereof.
Yeah.
Wanting more, having more accessibility to them. Another thing that I hope to see and could look forward to in Halo Infinite would be a UI change.
Yes, yeah, I think a lot of people are asking for those.
As easily accessible as they had said it would be, I still cannot, like, you know, use that UI. I'm still confused at what I'm looking at at some points, and I don't know what's I don't know what's what. There's so many ways to get to the same thing, and it's just made it difficult for me to navigate.
Yeah, I'd like to see a UI update. I've seen some people who like will like make their own and kind of like show what they can do. And there was one that was put out fairly recently, and it looks so much nicer, even for customizing your Spartan and everything like that. It was so much simpler and so much straightforward. I don't know who designed the Halo Infinite one, but it definitely does not seem like a favorite UI for Halo games for sure. Seems like a lot of people are right there with you.
Yeah. Did you have anything else? Because I still have like another thing that I would like to kind of see change.
Go for it. I'm enjoying your list. Yeah.
Just, oh god. Like, if you want to throw in like your preset armor or whatever, that's fine. Okay. Like, I forget what it is. Like the Mark 7, and then you have your the samurai armor, and then like the World War II armor and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
If you want to be able to have like a separate section where like, okay, your second spot can be dedicated to that, but like, I would like to see a revamp where it's like, let's say I have a Spartan armor that I like, and then I just want to put it aside for a bit and do a new Spartan armor that I want to have, and like your armor haul consists of like these Spartan armors that you like with the mix and match and cross contaminate, if you will, all the armor pieces that you'd like. I prefer that
Yes.
so much more than having like designated armor hall spots for specific reasons.
Yeah, I am 100% with you. They should have, in the same way that Call of Duty has like loadouts, you should have like suits of armor essentially, and like maybe 5 slots, and you can design whatever armor you want in the one slot, and it's almost like a saved armor thing that you have that you can kind of access before any game that you go into. I think that's the best way. Make it totally cross-core customization, and then just give us 5 slots to kind of like, well, I want this, like maybe I want a HCS, thing with like the red, white, and blue and everything like that, but I don't always want that, but I want to save that because I don't want to have to detach everything and reattach everything, all that kind of stuff.
And
so
that's the key thing there, right? It's exactly that. Like, are you supposed to memorize exactly every orientation that you've liked your Spartan in?
Yeah.
And like have to constantly change it just because you liked it? Because I've had several occasions where like I'd be playing with somebody and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, like I like the way the Spartan looked. What was the armor that I don't remember." Like, and then like we just kind of go down this rabbit hole of like trying to figure out what that armor set was prior, right? That they enjoyed.
Yeah.
So it would be nice to have like that be able to kind of sift through.
I'm 100% with you there. 100%.
Right, and also the cores, the change, allow us to change the colors. If that's possible. Because you have all these cores. I was even looking at it earlier. Like when you're looking at all the cores, you're just looking at a list of all these cores, and like there's the blue one, there's the green one, there's the red one, there's the orange one, right? Like you just have one core that you can allow to just change that blue, orange, or red, or green, instead of having this 6 or 7 cores that are solid colors anyways. It's just more to scroll through to reach the whatever other cores that you may want to see, right? It'd be nice that if they had like a basic core, and like from there, like you can change it to whatever color you want here, following these whatever colors, and that would be just one core instead of 7 cores that create the one core.
Yeah, I would love to see a return to some kind of like actual customization. You know what? I had actually tweeted this the other day. The Philadelphia Flyers have a really cool alternate jersey where it's mostly black and white, but then they have orange forearms, right? And I was looking at this jersey and I was like, oh my god, this would be such a sharp Spartan armor. And I thought to myself, like, I would love to be able to make an armor, color it where it's mostly black and white, but then on my forearms it's like a bright orange. Like that would look really sick. I can't do that. I can't express myself that way because it wasn't pre-made by somebody at 343.
Right. And I'm wondering if that has anything to do with like the game engine or whatever. Like maybe there is some like rendering issues.
Could be.
That's what it is. But if they can fix that this year, or if they do plan on fixing that this year, that'd be top tier stuff, and I can finally customize my Spartan the way I want to customize my Spartan instead of using the default Spartan I'm still using, and it's been over a year now.
Yeah, I don't think they'll change that just because of the monetization, right? Because like some of these color patterns and stuff like that, people have paid for, and so if you allowed people to choose their own colors, now what you're doing is essentially telling all these people who paid for it, hey, you didn't need to buy it, you just needed to wait, and then you could make it yourself. So I think that's where you're going to run into that issue of probably not going to happen.
Right, but I mean, you can do it in a way where like these sections that are like you have one armor core that has a red arm, right? But the other one is like the default color. Like your left arm would be like black, and the red arm is the right arm, right? And you can still change the customization where that like you have that specific portion of the color for the red. You can change that color to green or yellow or thing, and you're still getting that core with the money that you paid. You're just allowing yourself to be able to customize the color instead.
Oh, I think I see what you're saying. I guess what I was thinking is like if you have a core and you can kind of change the colors, that you would be able to make it so that way your Spartan has like one arm that's red and the rest of it like default and or whatever. You could kind of like recreate all of the ones that people have already bought if you can customize it how you want. But I see what you're saying. Like maybe
that's not the way I see the armor core system. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. No. That's not the way. That's not the way I see it.
Okay.
The way they're them doing it is, I feel like each armor core has specific like areas they have colored in and specific designs they have colored in, and it's just a matter of just allowing you to be able to change the colors of that.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Some kind of customization. At the end of the day, I think we're both asking for like, please just let us customize our fucking Spartan, like in a way that actually feels like customizing them instead of just picking a skin. You know what they could do, man? They could let you do whatever colors you want and then just lock all like the different armors and stuff like that behind a paywall. That would be fine. Like, look, Jonathan, if you really want the Locust armor, hey, it's $10. Fair enough. I buy the Locust armor. Now I can color the Locust armor however I want. That would be totally fine with me. Totally fine. Now I have these armor pieces. I can kind of switch them out, put the helmet in, whatever. Like, that makes sense. Like, monetizing the colors, I think, still is kind of rubbing me the wrong way.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that could work. You know, just I guess having the armor sets themselves on behind paywalls.
They should have your primary, secondary, maybe tertiary color, and then you be able to kind of color in the different pieces of your armor, whatever color you want off of the color wheel. They should do that. Then they should have like, I don't know, maybe 15 or 20 armors that you can unlock. Maybe just 10. Maybe 10 different armors that you can unlock from doing the campaign, different difficulties, stuff like that. And then you can have a battle pass where there's different Spartans, different armors that you can unlock and stuff like that. That's totally fine. Weapon skins, I don't give a shit. You can like have us pay for weapon skins. That's totally fine with me. Oh man, you know what I really wish they did? I really wish they had something like Call of Duty where you have your battle rifle, right? And if you get like 250 kills with the battle rifle, you unlock, you know, a certain kind of like camouflage or a certain kind of like weapon skin. And then like, you know, give us things to unlock for each weapon by progressing with it. I think the way that the new Call of Duty works is like there's a bunch of attachments and stuff that you get to unlock. And then by getting headshots, you unlock the different like colors of the weapon. And if you get all the different, if you unlock all the attachments and you get the highest level with the weapon, and then you get, you know, all the headshots and everything like that, you unlock like the golden, like the gold skin for the gun. Halo needs something like that. That would be so helpful for, hey, what should I do here? Oh, you know what? Let me try and complete the sidekick. We had it in Halo 4, the accommodations. It's just there wasn't anything that came with it. It was just kind of like a pointless thing.
Yeah, that was the next thing that I was gonna bring up. It'd be nice to have commendations come back.
Yeah, do kills, do assists, do headshots. There's so many different stats that you can get, so many different medals that you can get in Halo, that if you gave people rewards for unlocking it, I bet you'd have better retention of people who just want to unlock all the things that they can instead of buying them from the store.
Yeah.
And you can still make really cool things and put them in the store for people to buy. People will still buy it if it's cool. But you need like a base level for people who are just trying to play the game. I believe that's how I think anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
I just realized we've been going for an hour and a half. That's so crazy.
Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, it's like. Yeah.
No, you're fine. Keep going. I just looked at the time and I was like, oh my god.
But yeah, no, like that's like those are things that I would love to see like moving forward, at least for 2023. And if that's if that's the stuff that we end up getting, like I would be very much like satisfied and looking forward to the future.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I want
Is there
some
anything
of
else
that.
that you had like that you wanted to kind of like add it in there? Or...
I don't think so. I actually really like your list of things for 2023. I think for me, the thing that I most want to see, and I love what you talked about, like with the UI change and stuff like that. I just want to see it. I want to see just more accessibility for custom games in matchmaking. I think is what I want to see. I was about to complain about something, but then I realized it was a UI thing. I really want the UI fixed when it comes to playlists and stuff like that. Like, I don't even know what playlists are in the game. I have to scroll through some kind of menu. Only 4 playlists pop up at a time. Sometimes I don't understand design changes from ideas that were already working, you know? Like Halo 3, when you went to playlist, you would go rank or social. You go to rank, boom, here's the playlist that you can play. You go to social, up, boom, here's the playlist that you can play. In this game, they're all put into like one list.
Yeah. I think that's a problem. That is definitely a problem.
Still just weird. You don't have to do that. There's a great design choice that happened 16 years ago in 2007. They had it figured out already. I don't know if it's like some creator gets in there and just wants to leave his mark, so he's like, oh, I'm gonna change all this up. I don't get it. I don't. All right, man, you okay with wrapping things up here? Anything else you want to talk about real quick?
Actually, there is something that's kind of cool that I had come across fairly recently.
Ooh.
You know that you are aware that MCC has opened up more modding and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
To PC players, right?
Yep.
Well, I've come across a video from Mint Blitz, and he was basically promoting a revamp to Halo Combat Evolved's like campaign.
Okay.
Right? And it's called Combat Revolved.
I think I saw a tweet about this, but I don't know any details about it.
So they've made some pretty cool changes to the Halo CE campaign. Like, for example, like when you play co-op, you can play as Linda and Master Chief or whatever.
Cool.
Instead of it just being both Master Chiefs. They've changed things like they've lessened fall damage. You have to instead of just automatically picking up health packs, you have to manually pick it up like in Halo Reach. They've made lots of changes to like the Marines, right? So they've added in ODSTs. They made the Marines much more competent. They even added Fireteam Raven that they've added them to appear in multiple locations.
That's cool.
Right. And also things that have changed, like the Marines will actually kind of distance themselves a little bit more from the Covenant instead of going in there and just dying. They've also added all sorts of Covenant. They've added the engineers.
Oh, really?
Into Halo CE. They've added honor guard elites and ultras and all these other kinds of things. Like jackals are also able to pick up the human weapons if they want to. They've kind of rebalanced some of the AI stinking and all that.
Whoa!
Stuff. So they will, yeah. They've made changes to the Flood. They've added things like Flood grunts, and they made elites armor. They have armor the over energy shield or whatever on top of.
Oh my god! Really?
Yeah. They've also made some changes to just weapons in general and how they operate. So the assault rifle is a bit more accurate and uses a smart scope. Bullets shield than they do, right? They've also added some of the stuff that was cut out from the game. I think the gravity gun was the thing that they've added in to Halo CE now, and all that kind of stuff. So they've completely revamped Halo CE, and I don't know, based on the way Mint Blitz was explaining it, it seemed really cool.
That sounds really neat.
And I think that, I mean, you know, that's I think that's really great that like you know the modding community and now that we have MCC modding, it's gonna extend the life of MCC for sure.
That's really cool.
Seeing some of these changes that these people are making, it's gonna be really cool.
I hope there's some kind of way to access that stuff like on Xbox, you know.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, for sure. But I feel like there's definitely there's got to be some kind of limitations to the Xbox, for sure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because like, if I'm correct, like if you're launching like Halo MCC through Steam, you have an option to choose the anti-cheat version, right? Which is like the original version of MCC that you have to throw in, and then they have like a specific other launch for modded MCC. Because like if you try to enter modded MCC with the anti-cheat version, it's gonna assume that you're trying to cheat, and it's like nope, can't do that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right, so yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's something that might be worth looking into. And I'm actually kind of curious myself about the Combat Revolved.
Yeah, I wonder if my computer could handle something like that. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, it really does, doesn't it?
Combat Revolved.
Yeah, Combat Revolved.
All right. Well, if you have MCC on PC, go check out Combat Revolved.
And then there's still one more thing that we have to probably mention before we hit that.
Let's do it.
Button. The tournament.
The tournament.
The 1v1 tournament that is coming up. The due date for the signups is tomorrow. I guess. Well, it's the 12th today, technically, as of this recording.
Right.
So it'd be Friday. Friday is January 13th. Yes.
Yes.
Friday the 13th. I was thinking December stuff. That's going to be a mix of what? 3 separate communities. That's our community, so the Red Sprite Halo podcast community, Drunken Halo community, and the Proximity Chat community.
Correct.
Looking at the roster right now, we currently have is it 14? We have 14 out of 16 players.
14. So we got remaining. 2 spots remaining.
Yes, 2 spots remaining for this 1v1 tournament. And things are going to be hitting pretty quick because obviously it's very soon. And then, you know, give it in a couple weeks time, you're actually going to be starting your games to play.
Hell yeah.
There were talks of doing a podcast episode in regards to how we're going to be doing the division and all that stuff.
Yes.
It's supposed to happen on the 13th, but I believe that one of the committee members needed some more time to put the stats together, so that might be delayed for another week. So maybe they might be eyeballing the 20th. So there's something like that you can look forward to that. In order to sign up, we need a bio. Would you like to? Do you know what they mean by they need a bio? Do you want to kind of like give them a little? I don't know what they mean by that.
A bio, just kind of like who you are, maybe how long you've been playing Halo for, you know, a message to the enemies, a message to the people who you're going to be playing against, you know, that kind of thing. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It can be lighthearted, it can be fun, it can be short, it can be long. I'm going to make my bio. I'm going to assume that Los Burger's not going to listen to this. You ever watch the show? Oh, what's the show called? Have you ever watched the show called BoJack Horseman? Have you ever watched the show called BoJack Horseman?
I've heard of it. I've never watched it.
So in BoJack Horseman, there's a couple times where the writers will give some of the voice actors, some of the characters, just these incredibly long like tongue twisters. So I'm gonna base my bio off of one of those, and then and listen to them read my bio and get all. For 2 minutes. Yeah, exactly. Get all tongue twisty about it. Exactly.
That'd be. If I was to do that, I would probably put like this ridiculously like long story that does not have anything to do with anything at all. My Halo skills come from fighting a bear octopus clamshell thing, you know, in the deepest trenches of the ocean. And ever since that day, I was bestowed the powers of, like, you know, the Halo Infinite gods or something, you know, like something stupid.
God damn! Oh yeah.
You know?
Hell yeah.
So there is that, and then also something that they would like is some intro music. So while they're saying your bio, they have music playing in the background. So right, exactly. So if you can throw in, if you can, get in contact with us and throw in any of that, that would be very much appreciated. So we can get that all set up for the episode, which is looking, and I'm not saying I'm not 100% announcement here, but it's looking to be on the 20th.
Yes.
Particular moment.
Yep.
So there is that to look forward to, and then I did ask earlier. They were saying February 5th is when the official rounds will start. If you wanted to get in contact with Losberger or his partner Falcon on Skis, to get those matches commentated, you can get that all worked out. Just get in contact with one of us, and we can get that all done and all set up for you guys at some point. So there is that. Am I missing anything in regards to the tournament?
No, very well said. I think you covered everything.
Great. So yeah, due date is Friday. 2 more spots left.
Get in, send us a DM, say, hey, I want in, and then we can save your spot.
Fantastic. Be there
and
or
that's
be square.
Be there or be fucking square. Be the wrong shape. All right, that's gonna do it for us. Mystery, what do you got going on this week?
Jeez, I don't even know. The last couple of weeks have been such a mess for me. It's been a blur, and it's felt like a complete eternity has gone by. Today is Thursday, so I guess it would be Dungeons and Dragons tonight, I think, and then
nice.
Friday would be Halo.
Beautiful.
You can catch me on twitch.tv/REALMISTRY.
All right, very good. You can find me on Twitter at daddy_trax. There you go. And I'm probably not doing much other than working this week, so that's probably that. Yeah, you can find the links to all of our social media in the show notes and stuff like that. So enjoy the rest of your week, and we will see you guys. We'll see you back here next week. All right, peace, guys. Have a good week.
Yeah, bye.
Ah. Do you think this is too depressing of an ending?
I mean, go from like the intro music is it picks up in speed.
Yeah.
So this one's, I guess, a little bit more somber. Allows us to talk over it, I suppose, which is something I try to make sure we do.
Yeah, I love this piano right here. Dun, dun,
oh, is that
dun,
what it is? That's
dun.
what you like? Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. Bum, 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 bum,
Oh, if it's something that you don't like, probably change it at some point.
yeah. All right. Take care, guys.